what I tell my clients. Eat only fruit, vegetables, grains, legumes, raw nuts and seeds, and a little fish and chicken. That's it. And antioxidants are wonderful to take, and chelated minerals, if you want to do vitamins and minerals, I would recommend that.
Okay. We now are going to talk about some of your other activities. You basically are an entrepreneur, right? You've been involved in this.
Yes.
Well, what is your official title, actually, with your health work?
Well, I do nutritional consultation and colon hydrotherapy.
And you supervise people on their fasts and things. Okay.
Yes, I do.
In previous years, though, you also were involved in the sales industry.
Yes, I was.
And you were a woman in a very male-dominated field.
That's right.
So tell us a little about your career.
Well, I had I had real estate, dabbled in real estate on my own, and finally went to school and got a real estate license. Waiting for the real estate license to come through, I saw a big ad in the help wanted section, make lots of money. I thought, wow, that's me, because I was into money at the time. And I went and applied for it and found out it was an all-male direct home sales type, which is the toughest kind of sales you can get into. You know,
going
it's
door
no strictly
to door.
commission.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to door. They give you leads. And it was in energy conservation back in 1978. And I said, well, why not? You know, give it a try. I have nothing better to do. So, boy, was I in for a big surprise. And anyway, long story short, I was in training. They decided that I was ready to go out in the field, went out in the field, and they sent me on a lead that all these other guys had gone out on and completely fell on their face. They could not sell this little old man. And I went and spent about 4 hours with him. And I got so involved in his problems, I got on the phone, I was calling he belonged to the Veterans Administration. They had not given his check, and I was just really concerned about this old man not getting, so I got involved. Anyway, long story short, I sold him home insulation for his home, which was about $5,000, and came back to the office, and I said, well, I have the contract here, and they about fell over, because they were chuckling when they gave me this lead. They said, yeah, let's give her this one. Let's see what she does with this one. Yeah, ha, 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 you know, it's just a woman. So, and I came back anyway. Then when they had the sales meetings, the manager would say, okay, you guys, you're not going to let this woman beat you now, are you? So anyway, that was kind of my experience in the men's world.
What was it like for you growing up? Did you have real strong female role models?
Yes, but you know, my father was my greatest influence, Lisa. My dad was a really special man. So was my mother, my stepmother, but my father was, if anybody, human being, could have influenced me the most, it was my father. My father was, really, I guess you would say he was an entrepreneur as well. He had his own radio station for 17 years, he had his own television program, and Monterey Peninsula, his own orchestra. He taught music, and it was very successful. He taught me how to fend for myself and take care of myself, and he was a great influence on my life. And then my mother also. My mother was a missionary in Mexico and in Ensenada, and I used to go every weekend and help her with the children and learned how to speak Spanish. And I did that for about 4 years, and that was really a blessing to see the children get the love that they needed so desperately.
And now are you visiting Mexico nowadays as well? Do you have any reason to go down?
No, not so much. I'm going to be going to Guadalajara in about 4 years. As soon as the book gets off the ground, I'm going to go down there and study Spanish in a school, especially for American people. So I'd like to do that.
Do you do a lot of traveling?
Yes, I do. I've been to about 26 countries, and I took smuggled Bibles into China, and smuggled Bibles into Cuba. And I also, I didn't smuggle them, but I took Bibles into Russia when they had the 1,000-year millennium, which I think was about 7 years ago. So I was one of the first Americans to bring Bibles into Russia. They would not allow Bibles in that country. And that was really was a very exciting time. So
your life just must be so full, just having seen all these other worlds. Really.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite place?
Spain. I mean, I'm Spanish descent, but yeah, Spain, I would say Spain. But you know, when I was in Japan, Lisa, that was what triggered me into really getting involved in nutrition, because I saw the Japanese people so hustly, bustly, active, slender, busy, and always doing something, even sweeping where it wasn't necessary to sweep, you know. And I studied these people, and I said, what makes them so different about the American people? They didn't have the pot bellies like the American people had. They didn't have the bloatiness like us American people have. And they were slender and energetic, and I thought, what is it that they have? And I watched what they ate. They ate a lot of rice, a lot of vegetables, little fruit, and they ate healthy, no sugar, no meat. Of course, that was, we're talking, what, 14 years ago when I went. And that was a turning point in my life, and really making me want to consider doing nutrition, because I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be full of energy, and I wanted to be to accomplish, and that's what ended up happening.
We could really learn from other nations,
Yes.
indeed. What is it about people who live in the United States? Why is it that the potbellies do continue?
Well, I think our diet plays a big role in that. And I think if we see the Japanese are eating more red meat, I understand. And I think they're going to have the diseases and sicknesses that we have in this country, because there are other countries that don't have the diseases that we have. You know, like diabetes, for example. You know, and a lot of other countries. And people that live to be 100, centurions that live to be 100 and older, are people that are almost pure vegetarians most of the time. So that's telling you something, you know.
Yeah. Are the vegetables that we're offered nowadays, should we be careful of the chemicals and pesticides, or are vegetables just in general okay?
Well, yes, they are okay. There are means of cleansing the vegetables. You can use certain hydrogen peroxide to cleanse the vegetables of the parasites and toxic
What kind of a mix
substances
do we
ingested.
use? How do we do this?
Well, you can buy it at the health food store.
Oh.
It's a solution for cleaning vegetables,
Oh.
and I recommend that. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. We were talking earlier about fasting, and one thing I wanted to ask you but didn't is that fasting just sounds very dangerous. But again, I know people who do it and love it, and they just reach a wonderful level of health and almost, you know, closer spirituality, and just all good stuff comes out of depriving yourself of food for several days. So what are your thoughts on that, and is fasting for everyone?
Fasting can be for everyone, and even those that say, I've got hypoglycemia, and I'm hypoglycemic, I should say, and I can't fast. Well, that's not really true, but you have to fast, you know, go without one meal and then build it up to once a day. But if you do any more than 7 days of fasting, I really recommend being under the direction of a health practitioner. And it can be very safe, and it certainly does reverse the aging. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. It's incredible, incredible fasting is. And there's some wonderful books on fasting people can buy and read. I would encourage people to consider fasting for good health.
We have just about a minute left. Time has flown. So in that remaining time, is there anything else you'd like to add? Any points we didn't make? Anything included in the book that...
I think we pretty much covered it. There's quite a lot in the book to talk about.
All right. Thank you, and goodbye to all of our viewers. This has been Millan Chessman, a local author. I'm Lisa Zaborowski-Dunn, and if you ever want to take a look at an incredible woman, just look in the mirror. Good night. That's a wonderful...
We see the beauty in each other. We can see the simple, simple truth. As if time could make all the difference. So light and love in all your ways. We've got your children above, the flame is burning. Through the night and day, a tender love is growing between us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of our days. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of our days. How tender is our love and kindness, a silent, peaceful unfolding. Time gave us a chance to say, oh,